Good afternoon. You had the young man this morning, this evening you got the old man. I'm saddened this afternoon. We came together this morning. We worshiped God in spirit and in truth, and we had spiritual food. After we closed the service, we went over and we had physical food. A lot of folks seen no need to come back and get any more spiritual food. That saddens me. We were here already. Why go home? Folks, that's part of the problem today, why we don't have as many people obeying the gospel as there are. It's not that important to a lot of folks. I'm kind of an emotional guy when it comes to things of that nature. So this afternoon, we're going to talk about salvation in another way. You say another way? Yes. Have you ever waited too long somewhere? I can remember driving the big semi. At least once or twice a week, we would be stopped on the interstate waiting because there was a wreck up ahead and the traffic was not moving. But we had a deadline to get to where we were taking the product to. If we stayed too long in that line, we were late. There was a penalty charged. Maybe sometimes you've been standing in line, say for a Christmas holiday, and the store is opening early, and there's something in there that you want, and it's on sale, but there's a line a mile long. When the doors open, people rush in. When you get in there, the item that you were going for is gone because you were at the end of the line, standing in line too long. Story is told of an eagle. An eagle once was standing on a cake of ice. And that eagle, while standing upon that cake of ice, was feasting upon some creature that had evidently fallen into the river. As the eagle got nearer to Niagara Falls, that's where he was. He observed and he watched. He knew how close he was. While he looked up occasionally, as if to say, I got time, that he knew the dangerous falls were just ahead. He knew they were ahead. But he kept standing on that block of ice, eating that dead prey. As time went on, he then shirked as he got closer and closer because he, in his own mind, knew he could fly away. But you see, he waited too long. He was stuck to the block of ice as he floated down toward the Niagara Falls. He tried desperately to get off, and he couldn't. So the block of ice, the eagle, and the prey all went over the falls. My point is, he waited too long. He waited too long to make a decision to get off of that block of ice. There are people in this congregation that attend here from time to time who needed to hear this, who are waiting on that block of ice, who are going to wait too long, and when time is over, they're going to fall in the drink. Story again is, this man says he recently went by the home of a man who has not been faithful to the Lord for some time. He said, I urged him as I have before to get his life right with God, having passed 70 years of age. His day of life must soon see its sunset. He gave me his word that within a month he would do what he knew to do regarding his soul. Knowing something of his prodigal ways, he said, I cannot but wonder if he is going to wait too long. In spite of his good intentions, if this they be, he just may wait until divine patience has been exhausted and the falls of divine wrath have claimed him. Folks, to those who keep waiting, the falls of divine wrath may gain them. Hebrews 11:3, verses 12 and 13. Brethren, beware, brethren, lest there be in any of you an evil heart of unbelief in departing from the living God. But exhort one another daily, while it is called today, lest any of you be hardened through the deceitfulness of sin. In Bible class this morning, I've told you all that we have been studying, again, Muscle and the Shovel. We were at the end of Muscle and the Shovel. Explaining this and going through the book, I was wiping tears. They come to the building, they get to the top of the steps. The preacher's in the water. He stretches out his hand. Jonetta goes first. Can you imagine seeing your wife baptized first? And then when she comes up out of the water, knowing where you are. She's a child of God, you're still in the world. He says, if the world passes away now, I won't be with her. She's a Christian, she will be in God's home. So she come up out of the water and she grabbed his hand. And she said, hurry. Folks, it's that important. Hurry. With tears in his eyes, he walks down the steps. And the one who taught him the gospel, Randall, was waiting for him. And he said, when you put me under, my body went like this, under the water. Just like Christ's body laid in the tomb. And then when he raised me up, it was just like Christ's body being raised out of the tomb. Romans 6:3 and 4, you'll find that very thing. In that session, it asked a question, what is the most important part in your life that you can think about, that you can do? Nobody said anything. I asked the question again, what is the most important thing in your life that you can do for yourself? Nobody said anything. said, guys, don't you have any hopes? Don't you have any aspirations? Don't you have any goals in life? Nobody said anything. I wonder if I'm getting through. But the thing that you can do most for yourself in life is obey the gospel. Become a child of God. We sang a song this morning, The Last Mile of the Way. The chorus goes, when I've gone the last mile of the way, when I've gone the last mile of the way, I will rest at the close of the day. When I've gone the last mile of the way. And I know there are joys that await me when I've gone the last mile of the way. If you're not a child of God, there are no joys. When you walk that last mile of the way, there are no joys. You'll find destruction, heartache. You'll find out that you should have gone the way of the Lord, because when you're on that last mile of the way, it's too late. Too late. So I say the ones that needed to hear this, I don't know if it would have made any difference or not here. They went home. And that saddens me. Because Christianity is not that important to them. This evening, if it's important to you, and you've not obeyed the gospel, obey. This might indeed be your last chance. If you've done something to hinder your walk with Christ, change that by repenting today. Hear, believe, repent, confess, and be baptized. Simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Folks, it doesn't get any easier than that. If you have a need this evening, come over, stand and sing.
I'd like to stay here longer than men's allotted days, and watch the fleeting changes of life's uneven ways. But if my Savior calls me to that sweet home on high, I'll live with Him forever in glory by and by. Oh yes, I'll live in glory by and by. I'll tell and sing love story there on high, there with my dear Redeemer, no more to die. Oh yes, I'll live in glory by and by. The end I know is nearing, by faith I look away to yonder home supernal, the land of endless day. I'll cling to Him forever and look beyond the sky, and live with Him forever in glory by and by. Oh yes, I'll live in glory by and by. I'll tell and sing love story there on high, there with my dear Redeemer, no more to die. Oh yes, I'll live in glory